Hey there, everybody! Welcome to our Big Brother 22 All-Stars cast preview. It is finally actually happening. There were moments throughout this entire process these past couple months, I think, where we all thought, okay, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It was a roller coaster of emotions, but it's like we are actually now climbing the roller coaster of excitement until like that inevitable point, like week 5, when somebody we love gets evicted, and then we just go for like a week or two.
But finally, we know who the cast is going to be. We are so excited to be talking about it.
Yeah, so I'm sure some of you out there are like, okay, well, you guys are posting this video during the premiere. Like, how is that all that possible? But just to give you a sense of what's going on over here, it's a couple of hours before the premiere is airing. We just officially were sent the cast list, so we're getting this video together before the premiere. So with that in mind, there are no spoilers from the premiere episode in here. We're not judging anything based on what we're seeing. We want to have a pure, unfiltered take on all of these people from the get-go. We're going to go through them one by one and just spend a couple of minutes talking about each person. Before we do, if you guys do like this video, just give us a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and you can support us further by checking the links in the description to the store, and then also our Patreon, where we have a number of different tiers and benefits, including a live stream we're doing at the end of every month, so go and check that out as well.
Yeah, and we are also going to have something up after the premiere. We are going to be watching the premiere, and then we will come on and we'll have a video. So we are also, tonight is the start of the live feeds.
Yeah,
yes.
no, really. They're giving it all at once here, people.
It's everything. It's all happening. It's all happening. So we're really excited about the live feed. So we're going to have something up late. It will be late, but it will be the first sort of live feeds of our normal coverage, where we do multiple live feed updates a day. So if you want to keep up, there's a great place to keep up.
Yeah, if you've seen what we've done over the years, you probably have an idea of what that entails. It's fun. We're all in there together, and I hope there's a lot of activity and not a lot of people going to bed early, but that's just me.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to start out with here is that we did a winner's pick before we got the cast. We sort of compiled people from all different lists of people that were mentioned over and over again, and my winner's pick is not actually playing, but we picked also backup picks. So I'm going to start with my backup pick, who is actually going to be on the cast, and that is Enzo. So Enzo is going to be playing.
Enzo, Big Brother 12, now your winner pick officially. We're locking that in.
Locking it in.
He is also known as the Meow Meow, also known as a member of the Brigade, a notorious bro alliance. And here's the weird thing, because the Brigade was so dominant. Hayden played on Survivor, hasn't played Big Brother again. Lane, who knows where Lane is anymore. Matt Hoffman also never played Big Brother again. He's the only member of the Brigade to ever be brought back for another season now.
Yeah, and I think he's a really interesting person to come back, because I really feel that with this being an all-star season, that a lot of social game is going to be really key in this, in making sure that the people going out to the jury are still okay with you. And Enzo was really good at that. And I said this in the other video too, I feel like if a winner gets to the end, they're going to need to bring another winner. So if somebody brings Enzo, and Enzo's played a really good game, and a winner brings him to the end, I can see Enzo winning because of the jury maybe not wanting to give somebody a second win, to be sort of, you know, the Big Brother player that's won twice and that sort of thing, that they would have to play a perfect game to get that title. So I think Enzo's gonna win it.
I think he'll do fairly well. I'm reasonably high on Enzo. The only thing I don't know is he's kind of in a weird no man's land. I don't know how many of these people he kind of knows pre-game. I will say this, his penguin costume, it's got to be top 5 Big Brother costume of all time.
You love penguins.
I love penguins. We have a lot of penguins all over the place. It's probably not healthy, but that is where we are. with Enzo, and we'll go ahead and just knock out the winner picks here right out of the way.
Yep, all right.
You had yours.
Yep.
Luckily, mine did not get cut at the last. Though I thought there was a good chance I was going to lose Kevin Campbell, and he was not going to be on this season. And by the way, in general, there's not a lot of surprises in this cast if you followed a lot of the rumors.
Yeah, I mean, I was really hoping that there'd be like maybe one or two that we were really shocked by. I was like, man, how did that one get by us? But there really isn't any.
Yeah, and I just wanted the thrill of surprise. Like, I'm more or less I'm happy with the cast. It's not one of those sort of things where I'm not going to come on here and just rail on CBS, even though there's a couple people like a Johnny Mac, like a Danielle Reyes, even Zach Rance. Not that Zach Rance will ever be invited to play anything again, but like...
Yeah, overall, I'm really happy with this cast list. I think there's a lot of people here who are going to feel like they have something to prove and are going to be really hungry to play and are going to give us good games. So yeah. I'm here for it.
Kevin is such an interesting one because he's been totally forgotten by the Big Brother world over the years. He lost to Jordan, and he was the best strategic player on Big Brother 11, in my view, by a pretty wide margin. And I glanced briefly at the bios, because we were really pressing up against the clock from when we got this released to when the premiere's airing, so I didn't get a chance to read all of it. But something that he sort of mentioned is it seems like losing Big Brother 11 has really eaten him up over this past decade or so. And I think he's hungry. I think he's smart. I think he's sociable. He's savvy. The only concern I have is that he's a really great liar. And if these people have actually done their homework on him, they would probably be kind of scared of him in the early going. But you're going to look at Kevin Campbell, and then you're going to look at Tyler, obvious threat. You're going to look at other people, Nicole Franzel, who's won the show. Even Danny Donato, she didn't win, but she's such a high-profile player. Like, who is going into this game being like, that Kevin Campbell, let's get rid of him?
Yeah, I think Kevin's going to be in a pretty good spot because of that. I think that the people who are sort of more middle of the road, we can just deal with them later, they're going to get pretty far in the game.
All right, well, we'll go now into all the people we did not pick to win this game. Bailey Dayton, Big Brother 20, also recently on the challenge. I had no idea going into the challenge that how fiercely competitive Bailey was gonna be, and a lot of that I think she is like a really interesting sort of underdog challenge beast coming into this season where I could easily see her winning a few competitions. I think she's probably going to get along well with some of the new school players. I'm a little worried because I do think sometimes she takes things pretty personally, but I mean, at times she's also been betrayed really badly on her appearances.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see her play without Swaggy and just see her not in a showman, see her on her own, see what's going to happen here, because I do think she's a game player, and I'm really interested to see what she's going to do this season.
I think she's going to bring entertainment, which first and foremost is what I want. I want good entertainment on a season like this. I think she's going to play hard, and that's more than anything what I want on this season is people who are going to go in, play hard, bring some entertainment, bring some drama. Bailey can do all of that, and I just think if she kind of looks back at her previous reality show experiences, there are things she can learn, and I wouldn't rule her out as somebody who could make it pretty far. And if she makes it to Final 7, Final 6, I think she could win a lot of comps and get close to the end of this.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about Christmas Abbott.
Merry Christmas!
Yeah, who a long time ago when this all first started coming around, I kind of threw out her name between us here at home of maybe they would bring her back because she did hurt her foot and that she would be someone who would want to compete again. And
you know what I did as a response to this? I was like, bah, they're not bringing Christmas back for another season.
Yeah, and I got why you were saying that when you were like, no, she was not going to come back. But no, she's coming back. She is someone that is really competitive. She did have the injury, so I can see her wanting to play again and be like, okay, now I'm back to myself. No injury, Christmas, let's just come in and play. But for me, personally, I just didn't find her that interesting when it came to more sort of gameplay, and maybe she was just kind of sitting in an all right spot. So I'd like to see her make bigger moves and play a little bit more and not just sort of rely on challenges.
I said this previously. I would have rather had Amber than Christmas because I feel like there's more.
My winner's pick.
Yeah, I just think Amber, there was more that intrigued me about her as a Big Brother player. Christmas, I will say this. Her first season, she was very much caught up in the Paul inner circle of friendship, which actually just contained a lot of let's all kind of gang up and then like create enemies out of the people that were on the outside. And it wasn't always fun gameplay to watch because it was a lot of like demonizing particular players. It was a groupthink strategy that was successful. Well, Christmas isn't my favorite person on this cast. I'm still interested to kind of see what does her game look like without Paul, without the injury, like you said. Is she going to be able to sort of reinvent herself? It's an interesting opportunity for her. It's actually sort of a chance to sort of turn things around from a lot of people who don't like her. I think CBS wanted her on because she's very popular online among her community. We'll see ultimately where it goes. I'm not going to make some sort of rash judgment about anybody on this cast without actually seeing them play again.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Cody Calafiore, good news, everyone. It's not Cody's brother who is on the season. Paulie's at home crying and making the pie still from the Big Brother 16, Big Brother, whatever season he was on.
And it's interesting, too, because there were so many rumors, and obviously there were so many rumors just on everything, but there were so many rumors that people were like, oh, we saw Paulie at the airport.
Yeah.
And I think even TMZ said, oh, yeah, he's here. And then all of a sudden it switched to his brother, and I was like, whatever happened with that? Well, he was at the airport, now he's not at the airport. He's here, he's not here. So I am more excited to see Cody on here. I mean, I think he played a decent game. People really like him. He's going to be sort of this bigger threat when he comes in. So some of the people that I want to see go a little bit further, they may be able to have him as a target first. I'm not trying to push Cody out of the game, but he's going to be a target. It just is going to be the way it is.
Yeah, you look at him, and he is an athletic dude who's very good in challenges. I don't know if his brother, which, I remember now, Big Brother 18, his brother was on, but I don't think that Paulie being his brother helps him because people have kind of a stigma around Paulie at times because he wasn't exactly likable on his season. I don't know if that comes on Cody. The thing I'm more worried about with Cody is the giant mural of Derek that is in the house. You cannot escape the fact that he was a part of a huge Final Two alliance. The only thing he's got going for him is he made a catastrophic blunder at the end of that season that cost him $500,000. And so I don't know if they're going to think that Cody doesn't have a lot upstairs. And I don't think Cody is dumb. I just think Cody was extremely loyal, and I think he put loyalty over wanting to take Victoria to the end of the game, which is just it's ridiculous, but I'm not in the house. I also wasn't manipulated by Derek.
It's true. So now we also have Danielle Donato, who I legit did not think was going to be on the season when all the rumors started like a month ago or a month and a half ago, or however long it's been now. Time has just passed by me, so, who knows what day it is anymore.
No kidding.
Except that it's Big Brother premiere day. But Danielle Donato is someone that I really like, and I'm so excited she's back in the house. She is someone that I want to see win, and I think she's got a good chance at it. I would have liked to have had her as my winner pick, but I'm not sure how she's going to do in this group. I really hope she's going to do well, but she is Danielle Donato, and she does have sort of this legend status feel around her in the community. Everybody loves her, and for obvious reasons. Yeah. And so her going into the house, I mean, if I went in the house and I saw her there, I'd be worried. However, I can also see people being like, oh, Danielle Donato's in the house? I want to work with her because if I can beat her, then I can have legendary status myself.
I like Danielle a lot as a player. I like her a lot as entertainment. I think she's really, really fun. She's great live feeds. Yeah, if this winner pick was, me trying to just pick one of my favorite people, I would probably be like, oh, maybe I'm going to put Danny up there. Maybe I'm going to put Keisha up there. I would probably want to put somebody like that. I am worried that she's going to play too hard, too fast. she did say in her bio that she is aware that she would play Too Hard, Too Fast on Big Brother 13. And I hope that means she's sort of learned from her mistakes a little bit. I think she's got a great mind for the game. I think she can be incredibly diabolical without doing like some of the like over the top diabolical things that her father did. So I think she's got a chance.
And she's so tiny. I don't know why. I've watched her on the show obviously, and I just didn't remember how small she was, which is, kind of cool. I'm small too. So whenever I see other people, I'm like, man, they're so small. Yeah. I'm like, all right, I see you.
All right, now David Alexander, let's get into this because this is a contentious topic within the community. David going from first boot, barely even there for, just really for the very start of the season last season, and then coming back. And I feel like I've said my piece on it. And ultimately, though, at CBS, they decide who they want to have as an all-star. And, while if I'm thinking of early boots, maybe I would have preferred Ovi, maybe I would have preferred even Devin, who I've mentioned about 1,000 times, but I do like David as an interesting underdog because I from what we saw, I know he was eliminated, but he came back in Camp Comeback.
And he was so perceptive on everything.
Yes, he was so smart.
Yeah, I am in a weird camp here when it comes to David because I want to see David play again. He was so perceptive that I was just like, oh man, I really wish you weren't a first boot. I just wanted to see what you were going to do. And now that I see you in Camp Comeback and you're just picking up on all these things, man, I feel like I really missed out. So I want to see him play again. But then when Big Brother stamped All-Stars on it, I'm going to admit, I had a hard time feeling that a first boot that was there for like a minute in the game can be an All-Star. It can be a second chance. It can be, redemption. But an All-Star, I had a hard time wrapping my head around it. But I'm not going to be mad that David is here. I really, really want to see him play again.
Yeah, I think in the end, CBS, they make whatever definition for words that they want. Like, they could call this Big Brother Narnia, and they could just, make all these people characters from Narnia. I don't know. They can do whatever they want. That's my point. Yes, they can. Okay, but no, it's just, I think David's got a chance to do well, and Davon, to me, I'm thrilled Davon is back.
Me too.
That's the great thing about a lot of people on this season is that I can see a lot of people doing well. I mean, someone like Christmas, I could see her being kind of an early boot because I could see sort of her past perception coming back to haunt her. But Davon, I think she's going to have a lot of friends. I think she's been active in the community over time. I think she can be competitive. I think she can be pretty strategic. She already knows what it's like to leave the game early because she didn't do very good her first time around. So I think she's going to come in prepared, excited, ambitious to play. She's going to give us A++ confessionals. I love Davon for that.
Yeah, and she is really popular with the Big Brother fan base. And it's interesting because with this show, people who are really popular in the fan base, like Danielle Donato, like Janelle, like Davon, you know that America's perception of them is as high as it is, and you want some of that magic on you as well. So I can see people seeing Davon in the house thinking like, oh man, if America's going to give someone a special power, it's probably going to be Davon. So this is a good person for me to link up with, and I can see people thinking strategically like that.
I think she's going to be a great asset to a lot of people. I think she's a good alliance member, somebody who you can sort of bring in, and I think she'll be pretty trustworthy with you until she needs to get rid of you. But that's every Big Brother player on this season. All right, Ian Terry, winner of Big Brother 14. I love Ian. I'm extremely worried about Ian going into this season. Okay, here's the thing. I've said this before. I think Ian, he struggled early on in season 14, but he was so endearing. Boogie was able to aid him early on. My concern with Ian this time around is he's older, and I think older nerds, and I know this very well, older nerds, we're not as endearing anymore. And I worry that they're going to think of him and here's the guy that beat Dan Giesling. And I think Ian, he's going to be a big target, and he was surprisingly good at challenges late in his season as well.
I think Ian, I'm really happy to see Ian back. I did not think I was ever going to see Ian again, and I really wanted to see him back because he did play a good game against Dan.
He did.
And yeah, he won over Dan. A lot of people, including me, felt really raw about Dan not winning. And it has taken away, in a lot of ways, what Ian did in the game. And I was really excited to see him on this cast list because I want to see what he's got when he's not dealing with that type of a situation.
Yeah.
However, because he beat Dan, who is one of the biggest legends in the game, you got a giant picture of him on the wall there, that people are going to be kind of reminded of that. My only hope is that because Ian is the person who beat Dan, that people are going to want to take Ian to the end, because if they can't beat Dan, they can beat the guy who beat Dan. And that's the main thing that I'm hoping for Ian, to keep him around a little longer.
If they're people who have that big an ego and they really need that title, like you said, I hope it would bring Ian to the end, because I think from how much Ian destroyed Dan in the final jury speeches, because I think Dan played a better game than Ian, but I think Dan did a not good job at the very, very end of that season. I still would have voted for Dan, but that's neither here nor there. Ian did win, and he got a ton of support from that jury. They really liked him. He's going to be interesting to watch. Janelle.
Yes.
It's fourth time for Janelle on Big Brother. I'm all over the place with how she's going to do, because competition-wise, she's one of the most dominant players Big Brother has ever had. I think she has some holes in other parts of her game here or there, and I think we saw some of that on Big Brother 14 when she got booted a little bit earlier than I think a lot of people expected.
Yeah, I think that Janelle is again going to be one of those people that people are going to come into the house and be like, oh no, Janelle's here. This is going to be a tough game. And because of that, I do worry that she's actually going to leave a lot earlier than I hope, because I want her to stick around.
I want her to stick around. I want her to win some competitions. I want her to, snatch the key from other people. I want, recreations of all iconic Janelle moments from, her early seasons, because she was so competitive. I want competitive people on Big Brother. I don't want people sleeping all day to the point where people on social media are calling them furniture. I want people who are doing stuff.
Yeah, and I know that we're not going to get that with Janelle. She is there to play. She's not coming back this many times to not walk away with that title.
All right, are you ready to shoot me out of a cannon here?
Let's shoot you out of a cannon with Kesar.
What up, Kesar? King Kesar is back to claim the throne that he really hasn't had, because he's been an early boot both times. But who cares?
Kesar's great.
No one cares.
I'm so excited for Kesar to be back.
I love Kesar. I love almost everything about him being back on this season. He's got a built-in. Him and Janelle, they know each other well at this point.
Yes, I'm actually hoping that might help both of them out. Keep Kesar around, keep Janelle around. Come on, guys.
Ian also played with Janelle. Can I give you an Ian Janelle Kesar alliance? Is that something you'd be down? No, see. Yeah. I have no idea how Kesar's honestly going to do, because I don't get the sense that he has been spending the past decade or so studying the Big Brother game intently. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a situation where people aren't going to look at him as a big threat because he hasn't been that active in the community. I want him to do well so bad, because I feel like so many people all loved Kesar, and we were trying to will Kesar into doing better and not trusting people as much as he did. He's older, he's wiser, he can still be king. Come on, Kesar.
No, I do worry a little bit that he doesn't really know sort of what's been going on in the community during this time. But at the same time, I think people are going to see him in the house and be like, oh, it's Kesar, cool. Yeah. It's nice to have him around. It's cool, whatever. We'll deal with him later. He's not going to be a big threat. Yeah. And then they're going to have Kesar come out and just be the winner. And I can actually see him going pretty far, but then kind of ending up just being fodder in this, that it's going to be be like, if he doesn't make those connections, that he'll just end up getting cut. And I really hope that doesn't happen. I'm really excited that Kaser's back.
Yeah, I think there's a chance Kaser makes it to the end. Like, I honestly do. I don't think he's going to win, but I think we could see him make it fairly far, depending on what perception of him is. Keisha. Keisha is okay. I did not want to. I wanted to believe that Keisha was on the cast. I did not accept that Keisha was on the cast. I have been in Keisha denial for the past several weeks because it just felt too good to be true.
She's gonna bring so much good TV.
Oh, Keisha is Big Brother. They could have just recast Big Brother 10 and put all of them on this season. I don't think that many people would have been mad. It's just the thing. We've said this before. Dan won that season. And yet Dan, as great as Dan is, he wasn't even the biggest character on Big Brother 10.
No, he wasn't.
By any means. And people loved Keisha. I'm shocked it took this long to get her on. She's a total wild card to me because she's been gone for so long. I think strategically people think so much in terms of Dan. I think she's going to have game. I think she's going to come in and try to play and make relationships. Mm-hmm. She's, to me, somebody, though, she's either going out early or she's making it really far. I'm hoping it's the latter. She made it pretty darn far the first time.
Yeah, I think she's going to be there to play. Really, I feel like she feels that she has something to prove and wants to prove that she's a really good player and not just here for sort of our entertainment, because she is really entertaining, but I also think she's very smart. And I do think she's going to do a good job. Maybe it's just me wanting her to stick around, but yeah.
Well, if nothing else, if things aren't going well for her, but she's still in the game and we need more entertainment, let's just quarantine Mr. Spectacular for 2 weeks so we can go in there and stir up more drama like Big Brother 10. Okay. We've already talked about, other Big Brother 10 person.
Yeah, Memphis.
Yeah. Memphis, once again, there's a picture of Dan on the wall.
Yeah, it's the same thing. There's a lot of people in there that are dealing with sort of the aftermath of Dan.
Yeah, there really is. I don't think Memphis is as good a player as Dan. Obviously, Dan, destroyed him at the end of the game for a reason, but I think Memphis is smart. I think he's been pretty successful in a lot of his life outside of the game, so I think you bring some of that savvy into the game and you kind of see where it goes. I could see maybe a Memphis Enzo alliance, guys kind of around that age. Maybe they would have similar sensibilities. Maybe Kaser gets in there as well. I just think ultimately I'm excited to have Memphis on. I'm not super confident that Memphis is going to have anywhere near the same amount of success.
Yeah, for me, Memphis is a bit of the wild card, and I'm not 100% sure where he's going to land with this group of people. It'll be interesting to see.
Okay, Nicole Anthony, my runner-up pick that I can't claim her as anything anymore because I have to stand behind Kevin at this point. But if Kevin wasn't on the cast, Nicole, you would have been it. I don't see a universe where Nicole goes home early. I don't. She's likable. She's smart. She's popular. People want to be around kind of the popular.
It's true, and that's why they should get rid of her.
It is true. If there's a power we're giving people, Nicole's going to get there's a good chance she's going to get the power because, recency bias is a part of it.
Yep.
She's also just very, very well liked. People like Janelle, like Nicole in general. I mean, at this point, Kaser may be too old school. Keisha may be too old school, but I think Nicole's got an advantage there. She's not the best challenge person, but she can win a competition or two. She's got to trust her gut more. We've said this.
Yeah, I feel like Nicole, from what I've seen online, has sort of looked back and been like, oh, okay, here's where I made my mistakes. It's sort of that feeling of, if I have a second chance, I'm going to come on and these are the things I'm not going to do this time. She's so smart and she is very likable that if she does trust the right people and not make those same mistakes, just come in with a little bit of that confidence that I've seen her grow online, I think she can go pretty far.
Are you ready to jump from one Nicole to another?
Let's do it.
Okay, Nicole Franzel, who has been the subject of many a fantastic meme over the past couple of weeks. I actually heard before the start of this season
here we go.
that Nicole called up CBS and she decided she wanted to be the winner. So all these other people we're talking about, they're not actually in the cast anymore. We're just going to watch Nicole.
Whole season of Nicole.
We're just watching Nicole for 3 months, everybody. No, Nicole, okay, I've said it before. I don't find her the most entertaining on the feed sometimes because a lot of her gameplay is very much she just sits around and listens to other people. But she's a very good player, and she's someone who is very dangerous. I think she's not going to last that long because I don't think she can play the sort of aw shucks underdog anymore. I just don't. I don't see how that works.
Yeah, and I really hope that she's not going to play that aw shucks underdog anymore. I don't want to see it. She's past that now. And the thing that I'm also really interested to see is she has always had a showmance in the house. I am very interested to see how she's going to be able to play the game without having sort of that showmance shield to her and see where it goes. I mean, it could be very well a very different Nicole. I just don't know. I am very worried she is going to come in and just kind of be, oh, wow, I won stuff. I'm shocked. I can't believe it. Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. How did this happen? Like, I don't want to see that same gameplay again because now you've won, so you can't really be that shocked anymore that you're winning.
Yeah, I think ultimately Nicole, her skill set dictates that she can very much win again. I just think people are going to target her more than they have so far. And speaking of targets,
yep,
the final one. Tyler Crispin, Big Brother, he was a no-brainer to be on this season. He's recent, he's popular, he's good at the game. Usually when you get like the dude guys, like, you know, that archetype, they usually aren't that great at Big Brother. He doesn't act like the prototypical surfer bro.
But CBS loves those surfer bros.
They
man.
really
There was
do.
No way that we weren't getting at least one on this cast.
We got the best one. We got the guy who's the best at the game.
Yeah.
He can win competitions. I think Tyler should try to win the first HOH, if I'm being honest. It'll be funny if people are seeing this while the premiere happens and he's just like done terribly. But I think he's going to be a target early, and I think he needs to win early and build alliances and build bonds. I think Tyler, like Nicole in a lot of ways, I think both of them are capable of winning. I mean, Nicole's won before, Tyler almost won, but I think Tyler, he's going to need to do something to kind of minimize that target that is on him, because I know there are people who feel like he should have beaten Casey.
Yeah, and I mean, there are a couple other people in this house that sort of fall into that bro kind of category, that if he is able to make those connections pretty quick and there's no twist that's kind of like, oh, there's elimination tonight sort of thing, that he should be able to stick around a little bit. But there's not this is the interesting thing about this cast, is there is not enough bros this time around to really run the game the way that we've seen in the past, because CBS loves to cast like 4 or 5 guys that are all sort of these big bro dude types, and that's not really happening here. There are a lot of really more strategic players in this group, and because it's all stars and because there's more strategic players, they may pile on all these bro types and get them out fast, because they know that if they don't, that happens, and they take over the game and they run it to the end. So we may see people like Cody and Tyler go out fast.
It's going to be so interesting, and I'm so happy we have an actual season to watch, to enjoy. That is our cast preview that is really happening while the premiere is airing. This is the weirdest summer ever.
I know, it's super
It
weird.
really is weird, but hey, we've shared our thoughts. Let's hear your thoughts. Let's get all of our early takes out right now on this group. Like Jess and I said, we will be back to discuss the actual premiere episode, any twists and turns. We will have a live feed update late tonight. Hope you've got your coffee or any caffeinated source.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I've got plenty of that. But anyway, let us know what you thought about this video. Give us a like, subscribe, and support us further. Check those links in the description to the store, to our Patreon. We will see you here next time.